Hello, guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Last Bachelor. And this is episode 14. Nowadays, relationships are looking very different from what our generation grew up seeing. They're being extremely open and honest. It's becoming the new norm, although monogamy still is not for everyone. Every romantic relationship is unique and intricate. Not one resembles the next. None are perfect. It's for this reason you often hear wise people say never get involved in couples' issues because only they know what's going on in their universe. Truer words have never been uttered. Remember that one song by Wale where he says in the beginning of the song, monogamy or whatever you call it, I'm starting to think it ain't for everybody, but most of us rushing into it anyways. He was actually saying the truth. Most people are not ready for what it really takes to make a relationship work. This type of dedication is not to be taken lightly. It takes mental strength, some patience, and effort. It's about compromising, consideration, and sacrifice. By definition, monogamy is the practice of being married or sexually involved with one person at a time. The harsh fact is not everyone can pull this off. And a survey conducted by Health Search Funding org found that 99% of Americans state that they expect their spouse to stay faithful to them. But that's not realistic at all. In fact, 60% of all spouses will take part in some form of infidelity at least once during their marriage. That's a pretty big number if you ask me. But we're still searching for our happily ever afters in some way. When it comes to infidelity and which gender does it more shouldn't even be a surprise because, like I've stated before, most men lack self-control. We can also agree that this behavior is practiced by both genders, but for two totally different reasons. Men cheat for physical satisfaction, while women cheat for emotional satisfaction. Only 22% of men admit they've strayed at least once while being married. Not many men admit this. And while we're asking ourselves if these infidelities come from being unhappy, you'd be surprised to hear that 56% of men who have affairs claim to be happy in their marriages. And 34% of women who had affairs claim to be happy or very happy in their marriages. It's safe to say numbers don't lie, and some couples tend to stay together. In other words, don't create entanglements with married people. There's a big chance you will lose. I don't condone cheating at all, although I was notorious with it. And I'm not bashing relationships either. But we need to be aware that not everyone is built for monogamy. It can become difficult and stressful with the wrong person. We recently had a power couple go through a very public situation. Will and Jada Pinkett Smith are a perfect example of what real married relationships go through. Although no one cheated, allegedly, not every moment is going to be beautiful. That's a given. But how we decide to work through them means everything. In short, relationships require complete dedication and communication. And if this is too much for you, then monogamy is not for you, my friend. And that's okay. And as much as we would like to, we can't change adults. They have to make that choice on their own. But we can instill this message in our children. Tell your daughters the truth that most boys are going to cheat on her. Life isn't a fairy tale. And that actions will always and forever speak louder than words. Because people can't hide who they really are for too long. And teach our sons about self-control. And that romantic relationships require dedication and transparency. And if he can't provide that, then he should not be involved in one at all. And that's real talk. Today's quote I got from Dave Matthews Band. I know, an unlikely source, but this one's a good one. A guy and a girl can be just friends, but at one point or another, they will fall for each other. Maybe temporarily, maybe at the wrong time, maybe too late, or maybe forever. You've been listening to The Last Bachelor. Until the next episode. Feel free to take a time out and rate this episode from wherever you listen to podcasts. Thank you very much.